Hi everyone and welcome. I hope that you've all had a lovely day and whatever time it is where you're at. Tonight we're going to do a lovely slow flow and chill. So whether you're new to yoga or you've practiced before, this class is just all about moving the body in a really gentle way, breathing, releasing, letting go, and setting you up for a good night's sleep or a nice day ahead, depending where you're at and what time it is where you're watching. So first of all, we're going to start in a seated position. I'm cross-legged, ideally like me, but if you're not comfortable in your crossed legs, that's fine. You can switch it up to whatever way you're comfortable. I'm sat on a big cushion. I would recommend sitting on a cushion so you can raise your hips just that bit higher than your knees. I did share a playlist, so if you do have a playlist, if you've got it available to you, I would hit play right about now. Okay. Get comfortable in your seated position and ground down through your sit bones and lengthen the spine, get nice and tall. And to begin with, let's just close down the eyes and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So deep in the nose, right into the belly. Exhale, big exhale out the mouth. One more in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more deep inhale. And a slow exhale out the mouth. Get rid of all that stale air. Now just slowly take your hands up to meet one another. Keep the eyes closed and just begin to rub the hands together. And as you rub the hands together, take your attention to your heart. Send all that loving energy from your heart all the way to your hands, because your hands are an extension of your heart, right? So continuing to rub the hands together. Feel that heat build up. And then slowly just take the hands apart and then back in. And you'll feel this lovely energy, this loving energy from the heart that's between the hands, right? Let's slowly take those hands and just place them on the thighs with the palms facing up. And just feel the energy rising. Just continue to breathe with your eyes closed. And let's just check in with the body. So do a bit of a body scan. How are you feeling physically? Do you have any aches and pains, or are you tired? How's your energy levels? How are you emotionally? What do you want from this practice? Maybe you're just curious, maybe you don't know yet. Then let's take the attention to the breath. Inhale deep into the belly through the nose. And just like you're filling up your cup, feel that breath expand through the belly, the midsection of the body, and the chest. And then as you exhale, feel the breath leave the chest, the mid, the belly. Inhale into the belly, the mid, the chest. Exhale, chest, mid, belly. Inhale, belly, mid, chest. Exhale, chest, mid, belly. And just continue to breathe in your own time. Anytime the mind wanders, take your attention back to the belly, to the mid, to the chest. As the body rises and falls. And know that every inhale is nourishment. Every exhale is release and letting go. Any thoughts that arise, just treat them as visitors, allow them to come and go. A few more moments here. Slowly flicker the eyes open. That feels nice. And just let's straighten out the legs for a moment and just shimmy them from side to side and just work into the legs. And then you may want to cross them just the other way with the other leg facing forward. For some of you, it might be uncomfortable to sit for this length of time, and you might feel start to get a little bit uncomfortable by being still. So just try and take your attention to your breath whenever you have those thoughts of discomfort. And take that hands together and just place one hand on top of the other in the root of the body. And as you inhale, let's begin to fill that cup up again. So rise up with the hands with a deep inhale. Stretch up, right up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, release the hands and take the arms really wide. Again, bring the hands back to center. Inhale, rise up. And when you reach the top, stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, take the arms wide. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Inhale, take the arms up, rise up. Big stretch. Exhale, take the arms wide. Now slowly take the right hand to the side, to the mat or to the floor, and reach up with your left arm, keeping that hip rooted down. We're going to reach over to the side. Feel that nice opening of the side body and just breathe into it. Slowly come back to center, and let's take the hand down to the other side and reach up and over. Inhale as you come back to center, and let's just do that one more time. And I just invite you to close down your eyes as much as you can through the practice tonight. I'll try and make my cues really clear. Inhale as you come back to center, so you can just feel into the body, feel into each pose, the opening, the stretching, the spaces that we create in the body. Inhale as you come back up to center. And now let's just take the left hand and we'll take it across to the right knee. Inhale as you lengthen the spine and just twist the upper body to look over the right shoulder. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, twist a little bit further. Be kind and gentle, don't take anything too deep. And throughout the practice tonight, you adapt to how it feels in your body. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, take the right hand over to the left knee, and let's just twist from the upper body to look over the left shoulder. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale as you twist a little further. This twisting motion is super detoxifying for the body. We're squeezing all the organs, and then as we come back, you get a lovely rush of fresh blood and oxygen to the body. Slowly come back to center. Okay, let's release the legs. Take them out in front of you and just take them from side to side. So every single body is completely different, right? So some poses I do might not be available to you and vice versa. So you just adapt to however you see fit, because everything I'm saying is just a suggestion. It's up to you to adapt to feel nice in your body. Okay, if you're sitting on the cushion, release the cushion or remove it either. And let's get onto our hands and knees. So take the knees directly under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. And let's just tuck the toes. And first of all, actually, let's sit back on the toes. So firstly, let's tuck all 5 toes. And then we're going to sit back on them for a toe stretch, right? Now, this is not entirely comfortable, I'm not going to lie. It's quite achy, but it's working into those toes that are crunched up in shoes all the time, right? If it gets really uncomfortable at any point, you can come forward with your weight, but we're just going to hold it for a moment. And from here, take the arms up high, and we're just going to make lots of little jazz hand fingers. So it takes the attention off the toes, you see. Just continue to breathe deep. And again, if it gets too much, just take your weight forward. And the arms will start to feel a bit achy up here. 2 more minutes. No, not 2 more minutes. Moments, I promised. Okay, release the hands and slowly come forward. And then just untuck the toes and tap them on the mat. Feels good. Sit back on the heels and take the hands together, clasp them together, and we'll just shimmy through the wrists like this. So a lot of the poses we do in yoga, you're bearing weight on the wrists that you're not generally used to. So it's nice to warm up the wrists, do some twists and stuff before we get into it. Okay, so slowly come forward onto the hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You can tuck the toes for stability here. Okay, from here, we're going to take cat-cow. For cat-cow, as you inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, and the head rolls up as the shoulder blades come together. Then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, and suck the belly button right up into the spine as you let the head drop and the shoulders broaden. Into your angry cat, right? So suck that belly right up. Inhale as you drop the belly. Slowly roll the head up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, and suck that belly right up. Close down the eyes and just continue these movements in your own time. Allowing the breath to lead the movement, right? So inhale as you drop the belly and slowly, slowly roll the head up. Exhale, tuck that tailbone under and round the spine. Taking your attention to the spine, really feel into every single vertebrae. So the initial movement comes from the lower spine, and then this ripple effect all the way up each vertebrae as you really accentuate the curve in the spine and feel into the space that you create. As you come into your angry cat, feel the shoulders broaden, drop the head, feel the neck open. This is a great one to do in the morning. Get the spine going. Okay, slowly come back to a neutral position. And from here, I'd like you just to start circling the hips. So make some nice big circles clockwise. Sit back towards the heels, come forward over the wrists. Exhale as you come back, and inhale as you go forward. Close down the eyes and just feel into it. Feels nice, right? Okay, let's switch it up and take it the other way. Nice big circles. Just freestyle the movement. Do whatever feels good for you. Moving side to side, front and back. Just working into the hips, which can get so tight. We carry so much stress and emotion in our hips. Okay, slowly come back to a neutral position. Untuck the toes and sit back onto the heels. Slowly let the forehead come to the mat for child's pose. If you're uncomfortable in child's pose, because not everybody is comfortable in this pose, you can take a cushion and pop it under your ankles or under your bum or even under the belly. Again, just doing whatever you need to do to be comfortable. Okay, so as the forehead comes to the mat, take a big deep breath in the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. The beauty of online practice is you can make as many noises as you want to make. As you breathe, feel the breath travel all the way down the spine, expanding across the lower back, creating space. You may want to move from side to side. Okay, slowly come back up. And let's walk the hands forward, make our way onto our bellies. As you come onto your belly, untuck the toes and get really active in the legs. So push down through the thighs into the mat and push down through the tops of your feet. The hands are just under the shoulders and push down through the pubic bone into the mat. And as you inhale, engage the glutes and the outer hips and rise up with the upper body. This is cobra. Hug the elbows into the body. Exhale as you come down. This action of rising is coming from the lower back rather than the hands. And just like you have a marble under the nose, inhale as you push that away from the body and come up. Exhale, come down. Now slowly take the arms out in front. The elbows just slightly further forward than the shoulders. And this action of pulling back on the forearms, but not actually moving. Shimmy the hips from side to side, and then again, active in the legs. We're just going to allow the shoulder blades to come together as we relax into this pose. Pick a spot on the floor in front of you or close down the eyes. And just breathe here for a moment. This is called Sphinx pose. For reasons I'm sure you can work out. Lovely restorative pose. If at all it gets uncomfortable though for your lower back, do just come down nice and slow. Otherwise, we'll just have a few breaths. Okay, now just make a little pillow with your hands. So one hand on top of the other and just bring the forehead down onto the hands. And just take a deep breath and a big sigh out the mouth. Have a nice rest here. Maybe you want to move your hips from side to side. A few deep breaths. And then from here, we'll just slowly push up into the arms. and sit back onto the heels into our child's pose again. Arms out in front this time, stretch them out in front and feel a nice opening under the armpits, forehead to mat. Deep breath, big sigh out the mouth. Then just come up onto the fingertips, right? So it's quite active. Keep the forehead and the bum exactly where they are, but maybe you can lift up the forehead actually as we walk the hands over to the right. So just walk them over, keeping the hip and the bums where they are, and just feel that nice opening all along the left-hand side. Breathe into it. Slowly walk the hands back to center, and then let's just take them over to the left-hand side. Deep breaths as you open into that side body and release. Slowly walk the hands back to center. And from here, let's just roll the body up and then take the hands just behind the body and open out the chest. Keeping the head where it is, maybe tuck the chin in towards the chest. Just open it out, feeling that chest broaden. And then slowly come forward and we'll just trail our hands along our mat to make our way back onto our bellies. Slowly, slowly, like you're moving through honey. As you come onto your belly, hands under the shoulders, hug those elbows in. Let's rise up for cobra again. Engaging the glutes as you come up, exhale as you come down. Push into the mat and we'll slowly make our way back onto our heels. Super slow. Close down the eyes even and just feel into each movement as you take the hands behind the body and open out the chest again. And slowly come forward as you inhale and let the hands trail along the mat and the body follows. You're coming onto your belly, hugging those elbows in towards the body and rising up for cobra. Exhale as you come down. One more time, we'll push into the mat and just come up onto the heels. Sitting back onto the heels, leaning back and open out that chest. Taking the hands forward, nice and slow. Onto your belly. Inhale, rise up with the upper body for cobra. Exhale, come down. Lovely stuff. Then push into the mat as you sit back onto your heels again for child's pose. And as you take your child's pose, you can play around with having your legs wide. So maybe you want to take your knees nice and wide and keep your feet together. Or maybe you want to have your legs completely together. Maybe you want to have your arms directly out in front of you. Or maybe you want to have them down beside the body. Each variation of the pose will access different areas of the body. So have a play around with it. Deep breaths. Okay, take the hands to the mat and we'll slowly come up. We're going to set up for a pose that's called gate pose now. So you stay where you are and I'll just show you from this side. So coming up onto a kneeling position, you can join me here now, but just at the back of your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Now take the right leg and we'll just take it out to the side, right? The foot is facing forward. Your foot may be flat on the floor, or it might come up a little bit, just depending on what's available to you. Your hip will have a tendency to pop out here, right? Just pop it back in. Get really strong in that leg. And then slowly just let the right hand come down the thigh. As you inhale, reach up with the left and then stretch over towards that leg. Keeping the hips where they are, the stretch is on the upper part of the body. Close down the eyes and take a deep breath. Slowly come back up. Take the hands to the hips and bring that leg back in. Take a moment to recenter. And then let's take the left leg and pop it out here. Again, your hip's going to go in. You pop the hip back. Get really active in that left leg. Really push down through the foot. Hands to hips. Take a deep breath. And then slowly allow the left hand to come down the thigh. Inhale as you reach up with the right. Exhale. Let's bend over to the left. Close down the eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale as you come up slowly. Take the hands to the hips and bring that knee back. Sit back onto the heels and just take the palms to face up on the thighs. Close down the eyes and have a breath for a moment. And just notice how you talk to yourself in these poses. You know, what arises. Try not to attach yourself to any of these thoughts. Just let them come and go. Okay, slowly make your way up to that kneeling position again. Take the hands to the hips and we're just going to do that one more time. So taking the right leg out and just really pushing down through that extended leg. Let's allow the right hand to just slide down the thigh, extending up with the left and over. Feeling a slight compression in the right hip, right? But a full stretch on the other side. Really nice. Slowly come back to the center. Take your hands to hips. Bring that knee back. Take a breath. Take the left leg out. Really ground it in through that extended foot if you can. And then help the left hand. Have the left hand just slide down the thigh as you extend up and over. Close down the eyes, take a breath. Inhale slowly as you come back to center. Take the hands to hips. Come back onto the knees and sit back. Take the palms up and just chill for a moment and just receive that. Okay, from here, let's make our way back up onto our hands and knees. And then take the feet wide, about mat distance apart, and just walk the hands back as we push into the hands and come up into a little low squat at the back of the mat, right? So you're just like a little frog up on the toes. And you can move from side to side in your squat. So coming up onto the toes on the right and then over onto the left, from side to side, just working into the hips and the toes. Take some deep breaths, open out the chest, close down the eyes. You can tell that I like the eyes closed, right? It's just a really great way to feel into the physical and emotional, spiritual benefits of the practice. Okay, and from here, let's push into the mat and raise the hips. Shimmy the feet in about hip distance apart and have a nice bend in the legs.
And just let the upper body hang over the legs. Let it fully melt. You may want to take either elbow, or you might want to even take the hands behind the head and just put a bit of weight on the head to open out the neck. But what's really nice when you're down here is just to close down the eyes and sway from side to side. Take a few deep breaths in the nose and out the mouth. We'll just hang here for a moment. Notice if you're holding on anywhere, release the head, the shoulders. Just let that upper body really relax. Slowly release the hands towards the mat. Bend the knees nice and deep as you allow the body to roll up one vertebrae at a time. You're going to come up to a standing position at the back of the mat. And when you get there, take a big stretch up. Stretch. Into heart center. One more, take an inhale, stretch up. Exhale, draw those hands down. One more time, stretch up. Exhale, draw the hands down. Now take the hands out beside the body. So the palms face forward. The shoulders are nice and soft. Lengthen the spine. Tuck the tailbone under and suck that lower belly in. Get really active in the legs. Draw the arches up of the feet and draw the energy from the earth. Close down the eyes. This is called mountain pose for obvious reasons, because you're strong and stable like a mountain. Even if you're swaying a little bit, it's powerful, right? Hold it for a few breaths. Okay, from here, bend the knees, reach up high. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand and stretch up over to the right hand side. Inhale as you come back to center and take the right wrist with the left hand, stretch up and over. Inhale as you come back to center. Draw the hands down into prayer. And from here, we'll just step forward with the right leg into like a high lunge, right? Slowly drop that back knee. For low lunge. And in our low lunge, you can keep the back foot tucked. Hug the outer thighs in towards one another. Engage the glutes. And then we'll lunge in a little bit further. We want the strength and the stability to be coming from the legs and not necessarily from dumping into the back. So suck that lower belly in, hug the thighs in towards one another. Take a deep breath. Maybe take the hands just on top of the knee and just push in and push away with the upper body. Couple of breaths here. Lovely. Take your left hand down to the mat and let's just reach up with the right hand. Open the heart up to the ceiling, reach wide. Take that hand down and just sweep the right leg back, and we'll sit back onto the heels for child's pose for a moment. Deep breath in the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. Lovely. And from here, just push into the mat. Come up into our dangle position again. So feet hip distance apart and just letting the upper body hang. We'll only be here for a short while this time. Knees bent, upper body is soft. Then slowly roll up. Take a big stretch when you get there. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale as you draw the hands down. One more time, big stretch.
Exhale, draw the hands down. Hands in heart center, and just connect with that heartbeat for a moment. Okay, this time, pick the left leg up and just step forward into your high lunge, hugging those outer thighs in towards one another, and then drop the back leg. For your low lunge, in the low lunge, hug the outer thighs in towards one another again, engage the glutes, suck that lower belly in and up, and then you can lunge in a little bit. Take the hands just above the knee and push against the knee as you open out the chest. Deep breaths. You're working into a really tight muscle here, the psoas, right? Which is just, that runs from the lower back into the spine. It gets super tight with all the stress. Slowly take the right hand down to the mat and let's just reach up with the left. Open out the heart, open out the chest. Exhale as you take that hand down and just draw the left leg back. Sit back onto the heels, forehead to mat for child's pose. A few breaths. Slowly come up, and we're going to take our weight onto our bum, our left bum cheek, and swing the legs around. From here, you might want to sit on your cushion again, whatever feels better for you. But we're going to take, I'm going to sit on a cushion actually. Pop it under your bum, and we're going to take butterfly. So in butterfly, take the soles of the feet together, and then just push them a little bit away from the body. So you're going to make a nice diamond shape with the legs here. Take hold of the feet. And as you inhale, as you exhale, take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, round the spine and just allow yourself to come forward. Let the head drop, release the shoulders, and just let yourself curl. If that's uncomfortable on your lower back, you might want to take the spine forward instead of rounding it. So you can play around with whatever works for you. Play around with the distance of the feet from the body as well to make it as comfortable for you as possible. Close down the eyes and just breathe into it. Just think about softening and releasing with each exhale. Notice if you're holding on anywhere or resisting. And know that you can come out of this pose at any point. You don't need to be uncomfortable. A few more breaths. Slowly come up. Release the legs and take them about hip distance apart, and we'll just shimmy them from side to side. That feels good. And then release the cushion, or remove the cushion even, and pull that fleshy part back of your booty. And then take the hands like little crabby claws, and let's just give ourselves a nice massage in the legs, right? So squeeze the thighs, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the tops of the knees all the way down the calves. Give yourself a good squeeze, a good massage. Shimmy the hips back and forward. Get right in there with your thumb into the hip bones. So much tension. And then just draw the right foot in. So the right foot comes in towards the thigh, right? And just let that leg come out. And then as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward over that leg. Allowing yourself just to come to wherever your body tells you to. So
Don't try and force yourself to go any deeper. Wherever you are is wherever you're meant to be. Just close down the eyes, let the head drop. Take a deep breath in the nose, and with an exhale, soften that little bit more. And as you breathe, follow the breath as it travels all the way down the back, all the way to that hip. It might feel tight and uncomfortable just now, but over time, you'll see yourself getting more and more comfortable in these poses. The joints will be more mobile and flexible. Just draw the left foot into the thigh and turn the body to face the right foot. Lengthen the spine. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, just fold forward over that leg. Again, just allowing yourself to be wherever you are and accepting that. Close down the eyes and just breathe. Couple more breaths. Slowly walk the hands back up. And then you can release that leg. And let's just do our windscreen wipers, windscreen wipers, side to side. So we've done our slow flow part now, right? And this is the chill bit. This is the good stuff. Slowly bring your bottom down the mat or just down on the floor. And then just allow yourself to roll down onto the back. Slow, slow, slow. When you get there, just allow the upper back to melt into the mat. Allow it to get really, really heavy. Feel the shoulder blades broaden and melt. And however the back sits here is totally fine. Don't worry about the curve in the lower back. Take a deep breath in the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. Hug the knees into the chest. Just have a little roll around on the lower spine. Again, closing down the eyes as much as possible. Now take the feet to the mat. Soles of the feet come down, about hip distance apart. You want the feet to be almost touching distance to the feet, but not quite. So reach for them, and that gives you a bit of a gauge where they should be. We're going to set up for a pose called bridge. So from here, you'll engage the belly, engage the glutes and the outer hips as you push into the feet and rise with the hips. The chin comes towards the chest. Draw the arches up for the feet. And just almost like you've got an invisible block or something in between your thighs that you're holding tight, so you can fire those babies up on the outside. We're going to hold this for a few breaths, but you can come down wherever you like. I lied when I said this is the chill part, didn't I? Sorry. Few more breaths. It'll be worth it, I promise. You can come out whenever you like. Slowly come down, one vertebrae at a time. And take the feet about mat distance apart and let the knees just drop in. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart and just close down the eyes and receive all the goodness from that pose. Again, take your attention to your breath and your heartbeat as the body rises and falls. Slowly take the feet back in, about hip distance apart. And from here, let's just hug the left knee into the chest first of all. Just give it a good squeeze. And then let's extend that leg up towards the ceiling. Flex the foot towards the body. And you'll feel a nice stretch in the back of the calf. Take a deep breath in the nose, exhale out the mouth. Now slowly take that leg and just take it diagonally across the body, just really gently. Breathe into the stretch. Keep flexing the toes towards the body. Now slowly take it over to the other side. You might want to take your right hand to your hip as you take the left foot over. Lovely. Slowly come back to center. Now take that left foot in the sky and cross it over the right knee. Reach behind the right thigh and we'll just pull that in towards the body. Nice and gentle, nothing too deep. You'll know it. You'll know where you need to go. Close down the eyes, take deep breaths. Slow breaths. And with your breath, as you exhale, just feel that hip soften and loosen just a little bit more. With relaxation comes stillness and a sense of calm. Which we definitely all need a bit of, don't we? Slowly take your right foot down towards the mat. And then just let the legs fall over to the right-hand side, keeping them exactly in the shape they are. And you'll feel a nice stretch in the hip. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can release your top leg and just lie it on top of the right. Take the arms wide and look over the left shoulder. Close down the eyes and breathe into it. Again, you can have a play around with what feels comfortable for you. Move the hips back and forward, whatever feels good. And as you lie here, why don't you imagine you're somewhere really warm and the sun is on your face. You can maybe hear the ocean. Allow yourself to let go a little bit more. Engage the belly as you draw the legs back up to center. This time, hug the right knee into the chest, squeeze it in. Now let that leg just float up to the ceiling. Flex the toes towards the body. Reach for the ankle or the calf or the knee, whatever is available to you. And then just pull that leg towards the body really gently. Take a deep breath in the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. Feels really nice. Notice if you're resisting. Slowly take that leg and just move it diagonally across the body. Now taking your hand to your left hip, your left hand to your left hip, just pull the leg over to the other side, just so that you're keeping that hip down. Deep breath. It's a good one for you runners out there. Now just take that foot and cross it over the left knee. Hug the left thigh in towards the body. You might notice the difference from one hip to the other. That's totally normal. Whatever normal is. Deep breaths as you gently pull that leg in towards the body. Okay, now slowly release the left foot to the mat and then just allow the left leg to fall over to the left, keeping that right one where it is. Take the arms wide and then take your gaze over your right shoulder, close down the eyes and breathe. Again, if that's uncomfortable in the legs, you can shift up your position, find a way that you're comfortable in your twist. Slowly engage the belly as you draw the legs back to center. Release that leg and then hug the knees into the chest. Have a good roll around on the lower back. Now release the legs and take a big stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. Oh, and release. One more stretch. And release. Now let the arms float down beside the body. Reach for your blanket if you have one. Maybe turn down the lights low. Get really comfortable in your corpse pose. And we'll set up for what we call Shavasana. So as you lie back on your mat, allow the upper body to fully melt. Get really heavy in the body. Allow the shoulders and the chest to open. Cover yourself up with that blanket and get cozy. Take a deep breath in the nose and a big exhale out the mouth. Allow the ankles to get really soft and roll out. And the calves and the knees soften. The knees roll out and the thighs are soft. Notice if you're holding any tension in the hips or the glutes. And just release with your breath. The belly is soft and the heart is open. The shoulders are heavy and the arms roll out. The palms turn up and the fingers are wide. You're open and relaxed. Any thoughts that arise, just imagine them as a little cloud and watch them float away. Allow yourself to be still and lie here for a few moments, and I'll guide you back out when you're done.
Slowly start to deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. Now you may be really relaxed and you just want to stay here and climb into bed. That's absolutely cool. Otherwise, you can slowly hug your knees into your chest and then roll on to whatever side feels nice. Take your time and just embrace yourself as you lie on your side. And then slowly make your way up to a seated position with your eyes closed. Take your hands in prayer in heart center. And just take a moment to do that body scan again and just notice how you're feeling, this sense of stillness, this sense of calm. And together, let's bow. Thank you so much for joining me. I realize I've ran a bit late with my time. I hope that's okay, and I hope you all have a wonderful sleep or rest of your day. And I look forward to yogiing with you again soon. Thank you.